The underlying theme with you is your work ethic, your endurance, your mental fortitude, and how you carry yourself in the UFC. There's another gentleman that's out there that's a superstar by the name of Khabib, and you guys had linked up. I would imagine you guys got along very well. How did that occur between you guys? Like, how did you end up going over there training with him, and how did you guys, get along? I would imagine pretty well.
I got a couple of cards with Habib. I was on a couple of his cards beforehand, and I was just like, obviously I knew who he was. And then we didn't have the same manager at the time, but now we do, Ali Abdelaziz. So, I would always see him, and, both being Muslim, it's always you have to sell him to somebody. You have to greet another Muslim. So, like, we'd always say what's up, and he'd always, like, check on me, and when I'd be on the scale, he'd be like, oh, brother, you could go 155. When I first met him, I was like, bro, what? Because it'd be like fight week, and I'd be like 180 fight week. It'll be like the Tuesday at fight week. It'd be like, oh, brother, you could go 55. And I'm like, bro, how much weight do you guys cut to make it to 55 right now? But he was always nice. And then, when I got with his manager, I would like see them at certain events, and he'll be like, hey, we're going to train. So then I'll train with them in a certain room, because when one of them fight, they all fight. They're all at the fight, so they're all getting training in random rooms, workout rooms and stuff. So, and it's a small knit group, so they don't just let anybody into those groups to work out and train, because a lot of people they want to have that picture, they want to have that moment, or they want to just say that, hey, I just trained with Habib's team. But for myself, it was an honor, because like being Muslim, it's first of all looking up to him in that manner, the way he holds himself and the way he brought Islam into the UFC and more mainstream. That was huge for me. So then being able to work out with him was crazy, and then to have 5 weeks with them guys in Dubai was nuts, because Islam was on that card. He was having his title fight, and then Habib recently retired. He was still cornering and coaching guys, so they were like, yeah, you come down and train with us. And I was like, all right, and put me in a hotel. Like the food they had was crazy. Like Habib put a lot of money into that camp, and just for him to allow me in there was like a once in a lifetime opportunity. So working out with those guys was crazy, because every single one of those guys is a beast. Like a lot of people, 90% of people won't know like half of their names, but all of them would like probably be ranked in the UFC if they were in the UFC right now. And I learned so much from them. And Habib would always like, after every practice, it would be like the hardest session, and then he'd be like, all right, let's go in the cage. And he'll work like one-on-one with me, wrestling or something. And it's like feeling his strength and his movement, it like humbles you a little bit, because you're like, if I can't move under him, who am I gonna be? But then you realize just like the best guy to ever do it, in my opinion. And I think a lot of people, once they do feel his strength and they feel the way he grabs you and holds you, it's like they understand it's different. And a lot of that time working with those guys, it like leveled me up so much, because I realized they are different. So they just made me get that much better.
What is it about? Because most people in America, even around the world, they'll never really understand or know like what it's like to train with, a camp like Khabib's, and with all like elite athletes, all killers. What do you think was like the definitive factor with their camp? Like, why do you think they are on a whole nother level? There's always been like a mystique around people in that camp, and you experienced it. You know what I mean? Do you feel like you have to level up or rise up, even though you're already one of the best in the world? But when you're around those guys, do you feel like you have to reach higher? Do they inspire you is there something different that makes them?
Yeah, I mean, I just think that in general, is their whole team, the discipline they have is crazy, and the mentality they have is crazy. It's just straightforward with everything. It's like, yo, hey, you suck here, you got to get better here. So many nowadays, you have so many teams or coaches that are like baby their fighters or their stars of their team, and they're like, I don't want to embarrass him. I don't want to go with this guy. Let's just go with this other guy, so he could keep getting getting that confidence up of beating this guy in the room. And that gym over there, everybody there is a killer. So there's not going to be that one round where, this is my easy round, this is my round off. There is no rounds off in their room, and they don't like try to hurt you. They're not trying to embarrass you. They're trying to help you get better. So like I've gotten tapped out by Islam multiple times, and they'd be like, hey, stop falling for that. Do this instead. So learning those little tips are from him, who's an amazing grappler. Working with Habib, who the round will be over. It'd be like 5-minute round. I was like, the round's over with, but I'm still underneath him. And it'll just be like, keep going until you get up. So they make you work until you're all the way up. There's not that 3 minutes left, 2 minutes left, 1 minute left. Yes, thank God. time over. No, it's not. It's like you didn't get up. You were on bottom the whole time. So you have to work until you get up. So we'll have rounds where it's like 20 minutes where I'm underneath them trying to figure out a way to get up. So mentally, it makes me that much tougher because it tells me, like, we can't give up. We can't embarrass ourselves in front of him or underneath him. And, you know, I'm looking at it like, dang, he probably thinks I suck. But, like, Javier Mendez and those guys telling me, bro, if you make him work a little bit harder tomorrow, that means you're getting better. If he works 1% harder, that means you got 1%. You probably got like 50% better because he does that to everybody. And you can't have the mentality that, man, I suck because he did this, because he does that to everybody. So it's just, I guess, got to keep the mentality of I want to keep getting better, so I want to go with the better guy. All right, tomorrow, let's do it again. All right, I made him work a little bit. I got up in 9 minutes this time. And it just made me know that I was in the right spot because I've had those moments in my head where it's like, I'm going to go back home. Like, I don't think I'm gonna get hurt or something here. My mentality is my confidence is gonna be low. And I was fighting undefeated Sean Brady, and it's like I can't go into this fight knowing that I just got beat up for 5 weeks by these guys. But we just toughed it out. We manned up, and I think mentally it just leveled me up a lot.
And he was there for your corner.
Yeah.
So how cool is that? You meet him. Obviously you're a fan. You're in the UFC. He's in the UFC. And then fast forward, you get the best part is that you finished the stand-up guy. You know what I'm saying? And you got him in your corner. So him being there, and then obviously you have a strong mental, you're just tough as nails when it comes to mental, pushing your mental, right? Did that help you, having him in the corner, just knowing that he's there? Like just that extra little push? Yeah,
honestly, it was like one of those things where I said for my debut, where it was like we had to live in the moment for that one because it was like historical. It was, I think it was like one of his last fights that he cornered, that card, where I think Islam was probably the last fight that he ever cornered. So to have him be in your corner, and like I said, he's one of those guys where like you look up to, and for him to first agree to corner you, because he didn't just corner anybody, to say yes, and then to be in the back room with them and see their mentality in the back room, it was like there was no nerves. He's just chilling, like, hey brother, how you doing? How you feeling? And it's like smiling, and it's like doesn't feel like you're about to fight. And it just made me realize the same thing. Because I'm like, a lot of the time I'm super calm in the back room before the fights. And I like to just chill. And I had moments in my fight career where I was like, man, I got to listen to hype up music, or I got to punch the wall or kick the wall or something, because I shouldn't be this calm. I should be angry or something. But then seeing how they are, it's like, bro, they're the exact same way. Everybody has their ways that they, cope with stress or cope with anxiety or something like that. And for me, it was just like, I'm not more nervous about like, dang, I'm about to get in a fist fight. It's more nervous about like, I worked super hard for this. I had people that around me that worked super hard for this, and I don't want to disappoint anybody, or I don't want to go out there and, throw a dud out there, or go out there and embarrass myself or my family. So it was never like, dang, I don't want to get punched in the face right now, or I don't want to do this. It was always that. So like I was more chill about anything. I never really got like scared to get in a fist fight or cage. And Khabib's mentality back there is like I said, what's God's plan? God first, no matter what. And if he wants you to win, you're going to win. If he wants you to lose, you're going to lose. But regardless, we have to accept it. And we have to just trust his plan is the best plan no matter what.
What is him and Islam like outside of the training camp? Like, say you guys go out to eat or something like that. Like, how is he as a person? Like, humanize him a little bit behind the. What's he really like behind the mystique of Khabib? Like, what's he like as a person? What do you guys talk about? You know what I mean? Like,
honestly, he's like I said, he's normal. It's just like funny. It's just like one of the guys. Like, him and Islam are both like hilarious. Like they're both like they'll make fun of each other. They'll make fun of guys that they'll pranking each other all the time. Like videos of his phone. Islam will like be hiking with his boy and have like a snake, put in his boy's shirt when his boy's not looking. I'm like, bro, post this, right? Because like you said, there is that mystique of like, oh man, he's probably super serious, and these guys are like this. But I'm like, bro, they're hilarious. There's like, it's funny to see because you see the other side of them, and I just think for them it's more so like everybody's looking for that thing that's wrong, right? Everybody wants to point out your flaws. Everybody wants to point out, oh look, hey, see, he's not perfect. He's not this. He's not that. And they understand that, right? Because even they'll have Will Harris, Anatomy of a Fighter. He's like, bro, I have to like sometimes I have to redo videos because there'll be something in the background guys are talking about, and people will just be like, hey, this guy said this or this guy said that. And he's like, who's sitting there, micromanaging every little thing that these guys are saying or talking about, because people just want to find what's wrong with you, right? People just can't appreciate, greatness or humbleness or this. They want to find your flaws. They want to say, oh, no, this guy did this wrong. This guy did this wrong. And honestly, they're like one of the most genuine people that you could ever meet. Because even after the Gilbert Burns fight, he asked me to come down, and I trained with, they were in California, and to train with their cousin Abu Bakr. He's in the UFC, 170-pounder welterweight too. And we had like a good camp in Abu Dhabi together, and he's like, could you come down and help me? And I was like, I just finished fighting Gilbert. I wanted to take a couple weeks off, but it's like, they call you. It's like, you want to, obviously, you owe them. And so going down there, Khabib like got me my own like hotel room, and he's like, all right, he's dropping me off, and he's like, just wait right here. And like they went and got me groceries, like Umar, Abu Bakr, all them. They like, got me a full freaking kitchen full of groceries and stuff like that. And I'm like, bro, you guys didn't have to. Like I'm good. And he's like, no, brother, we want to make sure you're right. You're perfect. Anything you need, we got you. And even at the end of the thing, he bought me like $600 pair of shoes. From like Hermes. And I'm like, bro, I don't even wear like name brand stuff like that. We just went like shopping in California, and he just like, I want to get you a gift. And I was like, bro, I don't want you to give me this gift. I don't need it. I don't wear them. But he got me them anyway. And then we were like walking outside, and he's like, this is my store. And it was like North Face. And he like bought himself like a couple t-shirts from like North Face. But yeah, the way he he does so much for so many people, and he like doesn't ask for anything in return. He just asks for your hard work, right? He just asks for you to be there at every practice and give it your all. And it's never like, I did this for you. Like, you owe me this or that or this. It was just, even with that, when he called me to ask me if I come down, I was like, oh, my ankle's kind of hurt. But he's like, oh, no, brother, if you're hurt, you don't have to come. It was like, not like, yo, I got you a room in Abu Dhabi. You owe me this here. Come and help me out. It was like, nah, it's never like that with him. And that's what I love about it, because it's like, he's a true person.
While you were in Abu Dhabi, another individual with a mystique about him, you had an encounter with. We were just curious what your thoughts were, and if you had any interaction with a gentleman by the name of Steven Seagal. Did you talk to him at all? Or I mean, he's ingrained. He's tried to insert himself in the MMA world over the years, right? He taught Lyoto Machida the front kick and stuff like that. Did you talk to him at all, or did you see him? Kevin Novacek, who we interviewed, we talked about him. Just curious your opinion on that.
Bro, like for me, it was like I just fought, and then I was like, man, is that Steven Seagal? But he was just like, he was like dressed up, and I was sitting there like, man, that was a mystique about him. I was like, I don't know if I should talk to him. Like, he doesn't seem like he's a normal person.
Right.
Like, he seems like the type that I'd be like, who are you talking to me? Like, what are you?
Right.
And it was just like, yeah, he was more weird than anything. I was like, man, is that Steven Seagal right now? Because he was sitting there with his like robe on, and I was sitting there, I was like, what the heck is going on right now?
What do you guys do when you hang out with Hezbollah? Like, what do you guys like? What do you do? Like, where do you go? Like, what do you do together? Like,
a lot of the time, it's like they're usually doing big things together, because there's like 30 people in their entourage. So like, we'll be like, Khabib will take us all out to dinner. We'll go out to dinner, all of us together. Or they play soccer, bro. Like, they're in love with soccer. So they'll play like competitively. At the first time they played, they were like, yo, you guys like soccer? And then I was like, I don't, but like, I know how to kick in and run. And they're like, all right, cool, play. And, I'm on Khabib's team and lose on the other team. And I was like, I think we were down by like 3 points, 3 goals. And like Khabib's like yelling at me, like, what are you doing? Like, he literally yelling at me. And I think I like missed the ball, or like the guy I was guarding like got past me, and he's like so mad at me. And I was like, bro, I'm sorry.
Did you tell him you didn't play soccer?
Yeah, I was like, he's like, what are you doing? And then like the second half, he went out there and he like killed. He scored like 5 goals. And they had like real refs. So then, he scored like 5 goals, and like he usually going against like Umar and Usman, who are like his cousins, and like they got like so mad. They're like, you're a cheater. You paid for these guys off, and like Habib's like talking trash. Like, no, that's what happens. We don't lose. That's what happens. I'm the beast. I'm this, and it was like so funny to see. But they like played every week we were there, and I was like, after that first week, I was like, I'm not playing anymore. Me and Lou just like we were like jogging around the track, and they like never even invited us to play anymore. They were like, all right, they're like, you guys suck. So they were getting like real people from like the locals, and they were getting them to like play with them, and they were getting like people that are actually good at soccer. So it was like a real competitive game. But I was like, after that first game, they're like, yeah, these guys aren't gonna play with us anymore. But they like love it. They like even like the FIFA game. They're like another level. They're like so competitive with everything they do. And Habib like beats them all and everything. He's like very competitive in chess, freaking checkers, doesn't matter. He said, I win no matter what. They had like a ping pong table at the gym. So whenever Habib, obviously he travels a lot. So like he'll be like gone one day at the practice and the guys will just be like playing ping pong inside the gym. I was like, yo, are we practicing today? He's like, no, brother, we rest today. Khabib's not here. And it's like, I was like, wait, what? Like, we don't do nothing? They're like, no, brother, you work hard. So I'm like, all right, cool. And I'm looking at Lou like, bro, what? What are we supposed to do? And they're just like playing ping pong or chilling. So like, I'll have like Lou hold pads or something for me. But it's so funny, like when Habib's not in the room and when he's in the room, like he makes you work so hard. It's just like, he really like pushes you to the limit. Like there's points where me and Islam are like doing push-ups and Habib's like, all right, now get up and squat jump. And Islam's like, this guy crazy, man. This guy's crazy. And it's like I never like worked so hard. But if that was his mentality when he was fighting, that you understand why he was the best.